Ever wondered why Daemon Targaryen, known for his wild ambitions, chose Caraxes, a dragon as fiery as his own spirit? Or what truly motivated Aegon the Conqueror during his most private moments? In this deep dive, we peel back the royal veneer to explore the secret motives and hidden deeds of the Targaryen dynasty. Stay tuned as we unearth surprising truths about these legendary figures that history books only hint at. With their silver hair gleaming under the Westerosi sun and eyes as deep as the summer sea, the Targaryens are not merely rulers but legends born atop dragons. From the volcanic ruins of Valyria, they rose to dominate the skies and the Seven Kingdoms. Aegon the Conqueror's iron will forged a throne from the swords of his enemies. His sister Visenya wielded both sword and dragon with unmatched ferocity, while Rhaenys, the charming and cunning youngest sibling, secured alliances that stabilized their nascent rule. As we delve into their lineage, we encounter Daemon Targaryen, whose ambitions were as fiery as his dragon's breath, and Rhaenyra, whose claim to the throne sparked a civil war that burned the very fabric of Targaryen unity. Each of these figures carries a tale steeped in the power and peril of their heritage, revealing the complex tapestry of a family both blessed and cursed by their dragons. Aegon Targaryen, later known as Aegon the Conqueror, was not born in Westeros, but on the Dragonlord island of Dragonstone. His conquest began with a vision for a unified realm under a single ruler, a dream he pursued with the might of dragons and a formidable strategic mind. In the pivotal year of 2 BC, before conquest, Aegon and his sisters, Visenya and Rhaenys, mounted their dragons and launched the campaign that would forever change the landscape of Westeros. His most famous act, the Field of Fire, saw over 4,000 men burned in a single day, cementing his fearsome reputation and securing his dominion. During his reign, Aegon implemented several key policies that shaped the governance of the Seven Kingdoms. He established the King's Landing as the capital, creating the Iron Throne from the swords of his defeated enemies, a symbol of unyielding authority. His formation of the Small Council set a precedent for administrative governance that balanced power among the most capable, rather than purely by birthright. Moreover, Aegon's codification of laws across the land helped to standardize justice in a previously fractious continent, easing the integration of varied territories into a single realm. Aegon's reign was not just about conquest and rule. It was also about the legacy of unity and the establishment of a dynasty that would attempt to hold his vision together for centuries. His ability to blend fear, respect, and loyalty among his subjects was a testament to his complex understanding of kingship, a legacy that would define the Targaryen dynasty long after his death. Viserys is the first Targaryen ascended to the Iron Throne in a time of relative peace and prosperity, inheriting a stable realm from his predecessors. His reign was marked by his efforts to continue the legacy of unity and harmony within the Seven Kingdoms, which he endeavored to achieve through diplomatic marriages and extensive court ceremonies that celebrated the realm's diverse cultures. Viserys was known for his generosity and was well loved by his subjects, but his reign was not without its challenges. One of Viserys' most significant contributions was the expansion of the royal infrastructure. He invested heavily in improving King's Landing and other major cities, enhancing trade routes and public services, which in turn boosted commerce and strengthened the economic stability of Westeros. He also continued to foster the arts, sponsoring many events that enriched the cultural tapestry of his kingdom. However, the seeds of the Targaryen civil war, later known as the Dance of the Dragons, were sown during his rule, largely due to his decisions regarding the line of succession. Viserys named his daughter, Rhaenyra, as his heir, a controversial choice that broke traditional male succession norms. This decision was initially accepted, but as Viserys' reign continued, dissent grew, particularly from those who supported his second wife's son, Aegon. The court became a breeding ground for factions, with the Queen's Party, known as the Greens, covertly opposing the Blacks, who were loyalists of Princess Rhaenyra. Viserys' inability or unwillingness to firmly address these rising tensions and enforce his succession plans gradually eroded the unity he had worked so hard to maintain. His preference for avoiding conflict and focusing on cultural achievements, though initially beneficial, ultimately left the realm ill-prepared for the succession crisis that would erupt into civil war shortly after his death. The legacy of Viserys I, therefore, is a complex one. His reign was a golden age of culture and prosperity, but his oversight regarding the succession would lead to one of the most devastating conflicts in Targaryen history. Rhaenyra Targaryen, often called the realm's delight in her youth, was not only the firstborn child of King Viserys I, but also his chosen successor, designated at the mere age of 8. This unprecedented decision to name a daughter as heir to the Iron Throne was both a testament to Viserys' confidence in Rhaenyra's capabilities and a challenge to the entrenched patriarchal norms of succession in Westeros. Rhaenyra was raised in the Red Keep, close to the intricacies of governance and royal duties. Educated and prepared to rule, her designation as the heir apparent was publicly affirmed when she was seated by her father in the throne room, receiving the fealty of the court. However, this decision sowed the seeds of division, as many nobles preferred a male successor, particularly favoring her half-brother Aegon when he was born years later to Viserys' second wife, Alicent Hightower. The tension over her succession rights exploded into open conflict upon the death of King Viserys I. Despite his explicit wishes, a faction at court quickly moved to crown her younger half-brother Aegon II, leading to the outbreak of the Dance of the Dragons. Rhaenyra, not one to relinquish her claim, led her supporters, known as the Blacks, against the Greens, who were backing Aegon II. During this brutal civil war, Rhaenyra proved her mettle as a leader, showing both strategic acumen and a fierce determination to claim her birthright. She faced immense challenges, not only from the opposing faction, but also from internal dissent and the massive toll the war took on her personal life, including the tragic losses of her sons and allies. Daemon Targaryen, known for his daring and often reckless adventures, was a figure of significant intrigue and complexity within the Targaryen dynasty. A younger brother to King Viserys I, Daemon's life was marked by his fiery temperament, outstanding martial prowess, and an insatiable ambition that often put him at odds with his own family and the established order of the realm. Daemon's early days were characterized by his bold spirit and desire for independence. A skilled warrior and dragon rider from a young age, he was appointed to prestigious positions such as the commander of the City Watch of King's Landing, where he earned the nickname Lord Fleabottom for his hands-on approach to maintaining order. His affinity for action led him to seek out conflicts and quests, often creating as many enemies as allies with his headstrong and impulsive actions. Daemon's political involvement grew more complex over time. He was initially a contender for the throne, but was repeatedly overlooked in the line of succession due to his volatile nature. His marriage to Lady Rhea Royce ended tragically and without issue, after which he controversially married his niece, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, aligning himself with her claim to the Iron Throne and significantly impacting the dynamics within the Targaryen family. Daemon's relationships with key Targaryens like his brother Viserys and later his wife Rhaenyra were complex, swinging from loyalty to rivalry. His marriage to Rhaenyra was as much a political maneuver as it was a match of mutual understanding and ambition, and together they had strong but controversial claims. His mentorship and influence over his children and stepchildren also shaped the next generation of Targaryens, embedding his adventurous and bold spirit into the dynasty's legacy. Daemon's legacy within the Targaryen dynasty is marked by his dual role as both a destabilizing agent and a staunch defender of his family's claims. His life's narrative is filled with the drama of high stakes and high risks, showcasing the extremes of heroism and villainy that so often define the Targaryen saga. Aegon II Targaryen's ascension to the Iron Throne marked one of the most turbulent periods in the history of Westeros, igniting the brutal conflict known as the Dance of the Dragons. His reign, though brief, was both impactful and contentious. Deeply influenced by the fierce power struggles within the Targaryen dynasty, Aegon II's path to kingship was anything but ordinary. Despite the clear designation of his half-sister, Rhaenyra, as the heir by their father, King Viserys I, a powerful faction within the court supported Aegon's claim, citing traditional male succession as justification. Upon the death of Viserys I, Aegon was swiftly crowned by this faction, spearheaded by his mother, Queen Alicent Hightower, and supported by figures like Sir Criston Cole. This act effectively bypassed Rhaenyra's claims and set the stage for the civil war. During his time on the throne, Aegon II's policies were primarily focused on consolidating power and dealing with the ongoing war. His governance was marked by significant challenges, including dwindling support from the nobility, economic strain caused by continuous warfare, and growing dissent among the populace. His reign did little to stabilize the realm or address the underlying issues facing the kingdom, largely because the civil war consumed the majority of his attention and resources. The legacy of Aegon II is a complex one. He is remembered both as a king who fought fiercely for his crown and as a ruler whose short-sighted policies and harsh methods contributed to one of the darkest periods in Targaryen history. His reign serves as a stark reminder of the destructive potential of internal division and the high cost of civil strife. The Targaryens shaped Westeros with their unification of the Seven Kingdoms, bringing lasting changes like centralized governance and significant architectural achievements. However, their rule was also marked by severe conflicts, most notably the civil wars driven by internal disputes and their claims of divine right, exacerbated by their control of dragons. Their legacy is intertwined with their magical heritage, with dragons symbolizing both their power and downfall. Despite their eventual fall from power, the Targaryen mystique persists, highlighting a legacy of both advancement and strife, leaving a profound impact on the history and culture of Westeros. If you're fascinated by the tales of Targaryens and the rich tapestry of Westeros, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the history and mysteries of this legendary realm. Until next time, keep the dragons soaring and the secrets unfolding. Farewell, and may your curiosity about the realms of Westeros continue to grow.